Martian Manhunter Identity was a impulse grab from the library, mainly because of Steve Orlando. I really like him. He's very similar to Gail Simone in the sense of high concept sort of stories involving, characters we love. Gail Simone does that too. Really high concept, high stakes stuff. Lots of character development though. So Steve Orlando, I've seen his, I read his run on Justice League of America and Apollo and Midnighter. So upon seeing this, I was like, I'm down. I do enjoy Martian Manhunter, but I really wanted to check this out more so because I wanted to see what Steve Orlando would do with it. And the result is something pretty interesting. For one, the artwork is really different. Riley Rossmo did artwork. His artwork is really different. If you notice the large forehead on the cover, the artwork's like this. It's very what's the word, exuberant. It's very curvy, a lot of exaggerated line work for characters, big foreheads, things like that. At first I wasn't really into it, but then as I, kept reading, perfect match for the writing, to be honest. The writing is really rich. It starts off with your basic buddy cop kind of thing. Jon Jones is Jon Jones, a detective in a small, I don't know if it's a small town, I don't remember if it's in Midleton. Midleton, I don't know what state, but it's a fictional city in which he is a detective with a female partner, and she doesn't know his secret, but after an accident, she finds out, and all of a sudden, he finds his world sort of changing because we also get lots of numerous flashbacks, however. This comic has done the one thing that all other comics sort of neglect, which is what was Jon Jones's life before coming to Earth. A lot of iterations of the character sort of skip over, like we know that he lost 2 daughters and a wife, and that all the Green Martians are dead except for maybe a couple, and they usually end up being villainous, like his brother or the one from Brightest Day. Yeah, this story is really interesting in that sense. We get these really vibrant flashbacks, all these crazy locations on Mars. He was basically a manhunter on Mars, which is like a cop of sorts. And there's lots of alien creatures. We get to see how Martians have sex, how they procreate, what life was like. It's really different and really intriguing. The world building is just so vast, and it's just very otherworldly and alien, which is really great because, obviously Martians would not have sex the same way. And the artwork lends to this because the artwork is very fluid. So whenever characters are on fire or morphing or doing crazy action sequences, the artwork is more malleable and it bends to the coolness of it, whatever is what I'm trying to say. Also, it's a very absorbing story. It's basically more of a crime thriller with sci-fi elements. So it's kind of like, what's the name of that sci-fi movie? The Alien Nation. It's kind of like that, like what if, you're watching a crime thriller and, the main character happens to be an alien. So the main antagonist is another alien, and we also get like a lot of dark serial killers and like things like that, other subplots and flashback sequences to flesh out Jon Jones, but also his character partner and other characters too. It almost feels like this is an origin story for the Manhunter, but it's also like a sort of coming of age story of him dealing with his grief and things like that. There's a lot of cool otherworldly psychic things going on because that's one of the other aspects of the character. It is really, really great, to be honest. I wasn't expecting much because, the artwork is really weird to begin with, but overall it's a very well-written crime thriller story with science fiction elements, really great character work, memorable. If I had one complaint, I guess that sometimes the panels are really lame for the action sequences. Like there's an action sequence where they raid a barn, a pig farm, and like they don't really, the layout is weird. It's just basically all 4 of them just charge in, the cops, and then everyone's shooting at them. But the layouts are kind of weird for some of the bus scenes, or later on there's some mercenaries that go up against all the police, and they're not really staged right, or like in a way that's organic. But that's a really small gripe for a really great series. This was really good, worth checking out, even if you're even if you're just a casual fan of Martian Manhunter, it's still an intriguing story. Definitely worth checking out just for the new world building stuff. And they did change a few things because he didn't have 2 daughters. He only had the 1 kid in this story. But I don't know if this is just like a mini series. I think this is just a mini series, like an origin story, and mainly just to explore all the new stuff on Mars. I don't think, but if they did make a sequel, I'd definitely read it, and definitely worth checking out for sure.